Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is our math review for Monday, December the 14th, and we are doing some more with statistical landmarks, and this question is asking for us to calculate the mean of the data using this stem and leaf plot. All right, so besides the mean, I also would like to do a quick review and do the mode, the median, as well as the range. We're going to have a math district snapshot this week, and they're going to ask you to calculate all of those. Last week we did some questions with mode and median, and it was even on our Friday test. So let's start with those two that we know, mode and median. So mode, remember, is the number that occurs the most often. And I can look at my data set here and see that 34 occurs more than any other number on this stem and leaf plot. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the mode is 34. All right. Median was the number that was in the middle. Remember, the median is the grassy section in the middle of Williamson Road that's between the two lanes. So median is in the middle. And in order to do median, I want to arrange my data from smallest to largest. So I'm going to do that over here. I'm going to write median, so I know this is what I'm working on. And I put this data, this first one is 24. Remember, we used the stem as a 10. And the leaves are ones. This is 24, 34, 34, another 34, 43, and then look here, guys. There is no digit here. There's not a 0, so this isn't a 50. There's nothing there, so we don't even worry about that stem. They put that there as a holding place, but we don't have any value in that stem with the 50. So I'm going to go down next to 62 and 66. So these are the numbers that we're going to be working with. And to find the median, we want the one that's in the middle. So I start with the smallest and the largest. The smallest and the largest, the smallest and the largest, and I keep going until I come to the one in the middle, and that's the median. And in this case, the median is also 34. It doesn't always happen like that, so don't just assume that that's what's going to be the deal. It is in this case. And then let's look at range. Range is going to indicate how the numbers vary from largest to smallest. It's a value of variation, how it changes. So what we do for range is we are going to take the largest number, which is 66, and we're going to subtract the smallest number from it. What's our smallest number? 24. That's another good reason to put your data in order from smallest to largest. Makes it really easy to find the largest number and the smallest number. 6 minus 4 is 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. So the range, or these numbers vary. The variation in numbers is 42. The range is 42. All right. Now, the question for this problem originally was, what is the mean? Another name for mean is average. So mean is equal to the average. We often hear of average when I am figuring out your grades. I take all of your grades and I average them together. I find a value that's again, in the middle when you take all of those numbers together, not just crossing out biggest and smallest, but adding them together and then dividing by how many numbers I added. So here I'm going to add all of these up. And I'm just going to, I would use my calculator. The calculator, however, is my phone, which is taking this video right now. So I'm just going to tell you that when you add all of these up, so for the mean, the first thing I want to do is add all the numbers together. And ladies and gentlemen, when I did that, I got the value of 297. So I added all these numbers together, the 24, the 34, all the way up to the 66, and they equaled 297. Now, the second step is to divide by how many numbers I added together. Now, how many numbers did I add together? Well, I added together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you have it like a stem and leaf plot, you can just count how many leaves you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to take 297 and I'm going to divide by 7. And you can do this the long way, or you're allowed to use a calculator on these questions. You can use a calculator. When I use a calculator, it comes out to a long number with a decimal. So I'm just going to write down what that number with a decimal is. And I'm never going to have something this far out in place value. The answer, if it's a multiple choice question, is probably going to be rounded to the nearest tenth or the nearest hundredth. I'm going to do both. I'm going to first round to the nearest tenth. Nearest, N-E-A-R-E-S-T, thank you. Tenth, all right. So 42 and this huge number, if I'm going to round it to the nearest tenth, what is that going to be? All right, if I round this to the nearest tenth, it's going to be 42 and 4/10. If I round it to the nearest hundredth, that 8 tells the 2, it's going to become a 3. So to the nearest hundredth, it is going to be 42 and 43 hundredths. So this is where you need to look at what your answer choices are. This is probably going to be a multiple choice kind of problem. And either one of these answers would be correct depending on did they want you to round it to the 10th or to the 100th. So to figure out the mean, you add all of the values together and you divide by how many values you added. So I have the mean equal to 42 and 4/10. Mode, median, range, and mean, or it could say average, right? Okay, check your work. If you have any questions, make sure you contact me. Thank you. Bye.